Hot air balloons have been around longer than aeroplanes. They've always been a source of awe and adventure to all those who fly them. Today, 70 balloonists from all over the country are gathering in Nashville, Tennessee for an annual hot air balloon festival. One of these balloonists is 17-year-old Julie Dysart of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I don't remember exactly how old I was, about 6th or 7th grade when I first saw a balloon race, and I was just mesmerized by the view. I was hit by the balloon bug, as it's so called. You know, it doesn't hit everybody, but the sound of the burner and the sight of the balloons in the air just kind of, it made me just kind of tingle all over. You know, I might have even cried just because it was, I mean, I was so young, but I just loved the sight, and I knew right from that start that I wanted to be a pilot.
To prepare for the big race later in the day, Julie, along with other balloonists, go up for an exhibition flight. Unbeknownst to Julie, this flight was to turn into a dangerous adventure.
It's really important for everyone on the chase crew to work together.
Unexpected wind shifts give her chase crew a hard time as they track her through city streets and country roads.
Yeah, we had a visual. You lost in the trees now. When you said you lost the left, you definitely lost the left.
I was getting low on fuel and I needed to land.
You drive the truck to where Drew is just in case he can't. In case I go somewhere else. There's a lot of lines back up in here.
The only reason I had a hard time landing it was because it looked like a power line convention. We usually try to stay away from power lines. It's one of our #1 things we try to stay away from. Balloonist's worst nightmare is hitting a power line. And every time I'd come down to land, the winds would change on me.
Julie stays away from dangerous power lines, and by skillfully reading the wind direction close to the ground, she maneuvers her balloon into a small backyard. This landing was far from easy. But to deflate the envelope, she must be helped over the fence and into the grass lawn next door.
I wasn't scared, I was observant. But to come down, it's one of the harder things to learn. Landing does require the most thought, by far.
Julie kept her cool through a very awkward and trying landing.
It takes a lot for me to get nervous. I'm having a great time, really.
I just got off the phone with flight service. As of 8 o'clock this morning, they're showing 2 miles of visibility and 400-foot ceilings that are overcast.
Balloonists are very dependent on the weather, and on this particular day, there were many false starts.
It does seem to be clearing some. We're going to give it 30 more minutes and see what happens.
David Eastland is the person responsible for organizing this event, as well as a professional balloon pilot.
I've been flying hot air balloons since 1973. There were a number of balloons back then, but it's really grown significantly since then. Julie's balloon is a 77,000 cubic foot balloon. That's the volume of the envelope itself.
No matter how much cold air you blow into a balloon, it won't get any bigger than 75% of its size. It won't be fully inflated until the propane burner heats the air inside the envelope.
Propane is used in balloons because it's it has the highest heat output per volume than any other gases. Most of the burners that you see on the balloons today will give anywhere from something just over 20 million BTU up to as high as 40 million BTU. Balloons come in, like automobiles, they come in various sizes. The size of the balloon is pretty much determined by what you're going to use it for. Yeah, the special shaped balloon kind of came into being within the last 12 or 13 years.
The skies have cleared and the winds have calmed down. Time for the race to begin. 70 balloonists competing for a grand prize of $10,000. The object of this race is to maneuver your balloon as close as possible to a pre-selected spot on the map. A balloon pilot has control of the up and down, but the horizontal, as Julie found out earlier, well, that's strictly up to nature.
In the balloon, we have an altimeter, which tells us, how high we are above the ground. We have a vertical speed, which will tell us, how fast we're rising or descending. And then we have a temperature gauge, which tells us how hot the envelope's getting inside.
There are some up and down forces a balloonist has little control over. They're called thermals.
A thermal is just it's a bubble of hot air that reaches a point where it kind of bursts and goes up.
Thermals are not a good word for balloonists. We fly usually an hour after sunrise, an hour before sunset, because that's when the thermals are the most calm. They don't cause us as much problems.
Well, the sun heats certain things on the ground more than others. Blacktop parking lot, plowed field, sometimes just a dark green field. And what will happen is it will build a bubble of hot air. If you get yourself caught in a thermal in a balloon, all you can do is ride it out and do a little praying.
The race lasts several hours. While many balloonists find the target, many run out of fuel and have to land in awkward places. Other balloons get stuck in the gentle thermals and rise almost 1,000 feet, never reaching the target. Julie rides the winds and thermals quite well. She descends on the target and places very high against some very stiff competition. The race is over. Julie finds a large field for her final descent, and her chase team is there to meet her.
Got it.
There's a lot of balloons from all over the country. Some of the top competitors in the sport are here. I'm here to race, but I'm not here just specifically for the money. I'm here to have fun too. I'm having a great time, really.